Hi friends, welcome to your 30-minute Vinyasa yoga flow. This is going to be a very energizing practice to kickstart your day. If you would like to practice to some music, I have a playlist linked below, and I'm going to do a countdown timer on the video so you know when to press start. When you're ready, we're going to get started in a cross-legged seated position here. Let's place our hands on our knees here and start with some seated cat-cows. So I'm doming the upper back, tucking the chin into the chest, and then leaning forward, lifting my chest to the sky, lifting my chin, and sending my chest back. Good, just moving through these motions at your own pace. Maybe staying a little bit longer in some places in your body that feel a little stuck or need a little bit more love here. Start to incorporate your breath into it. Exhale as you dome your back. And then inhale as you lift your chest. Beautiful. Come back to center. Do some circles. So I'm just creating a big circular motion with my torso here in one direction. I'll tell you when to switch. Just keep going. Bringing your chest through, bringing your shoulders back as you come forward and your shoulders in as you come back. Beautiful. Switch sides, switch directions. I'm going the other way now. Exhaling as I come back. Inhaling as I come forward. Great, come back to center here. Extend your right hand out in front of you. And with your left hand, we're going to pull our fingers back towards us. It's just a nice wrist warm up here. Let's pull one finger at a time. So I'm starting with my index, my middle, ring finger, and then my pinky. Good, now switch the direction. Now my fingers are going to be pointing down and I'm pulling my hand back towards me. It's very important to warm up the wrists before any yoga practice. So if you find yourself in a class without some proper wrist warm up, just do these couple of things here and your wrist will be thanking you later. Good, now switch sides. Left hand, palm forward, and I'm pulling the fingers back towards my chest. Continue to deepen your breath here. Good, now pull one finger at a time, starting with the index, middle finger, ring finger, and the pinky. Good, now shake out your wrist here. And interlace your fingers, turn your palms towards the sky, reach up, look up, extend through the spine. Inhale. And exhale, lean to the right side. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, lean to the left. Good, one more on each side. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Good, come back through center. Release the right hand to the side of the mat. Reach your left arm up and over. Inhale. Exhale, lean to the right. You can stay here with your arms straight or you can bend your elbow to the ground. Lifting your gaze towards the sky and then rolling out the left wrist. I'm just creating some big circles with my wrist here. Good, come back up through center, inhale. Exhale, drop your left hand and arch over to the left side. Creating some circles with your right wrist here. Nice big circles. Gaze is lifted. Continue to breathe in and out, a steady pace. Beautiful, come back up through center, inhale. Exhale, place your hands in front of you, unwind your legs, come into a tabletop position here. Your wrists are below your shoulders, your knees are below your hips, and we're gonna do some cat-cow. Inhale, lift your gaze to the sky, drop your belly. Exhale, dome your upper back, tuck your chin into your chest, push the ground away. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Good, 2 more like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cow. We're just warming up the spine here, connecting breath and body movements. Inhale, cow pose, and exhale, cat pose. Good. Send your left leg directly out to the side of you. The sole of the foot is planted on the ground. We're gonna lift our right arm to the sky, twisting open. Inhale, and then exhale, send your right arm below for a thread the needle, dropping the right ear to the mat. Beautiful, push back up through center, twisting back open. Placing the right hand to the mat, and then we're gonna lift the left leg directly out to the side. Yeah, good, just like that. It's probably gonna burn already. We're gonna do some pulses here, up and down. Good. 5 more seconds. Good, now extend that leg long behind you and reach your right arm towards the front of your mat, extending out through the toes to the fingertips. And then exhale, we're gonna tuck it in, tapping your knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap the knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap the knee to the nose. Good, 3 more, just like that. Inhale, exhale. Last one. And exhale. Bring the hands back to the mat. Switch sides. So now our right leg goes out directly to the side. Lifting our left arm to the sky, twisting open, lifting the gaze. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, bring the left ear to the mat. Good. Plant the right hand, come back up through center. Plant the left hand next to it. Lift your right leg directly out to the side of you. Flex the foot. Keep lifting here. Pulsing up and down. Good, keep going, you got this. 5 more seconds. Good, send the leg back directly behind you. Lift your left arm. Lengthen out in front of you towards the top of your mat. Lengthen through the fingertips, through the toes. And then exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Good, 3 more, just like this in your own time and your own pace. Continuing to use your breath. Good, last one, inhale. Exhale, squeeze it in. Bring your hand and your knee back to the mat, back to tabletop position. Tuck your toes and send your hips back and up for downward facing dog. Let your head hang heavy, shake your head out, yes and no. Pedal your legs, bending one knee and then the other. Step forward, tiny, tiny steps to the top of your mat. We're gonna send our feet out as wide as the mat here. And then we're just gonna do nice forward folds, grabbing opposite elbows here, swaying from side to side. My head is heavy, lengthening through the back of my neck. Gonna place the fingertips to the mat, and then let's sit our hips back here into Malasana. Good, it's perfectly okay if your heels are lifted here. Just coming into yogi squat. And then we're gonna pulse through this a couple times. So my fingertips are on the mat. I'm gonna inhale, send my hips up to the sky, drop my head. Exhale, come back to Malasana. Good, 3 more just like that. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Exhale, come to yogi squat. Inhale, hips go high. Exhale, squat. Last one, inhale. Exhale, squat. Good, take your left hand out to the side as far as it can go and lift your right arm to the sky, twisting open to the right. Option to bind here. Taking your left hand behind your knee and your right arm to grab the fingertips. Release if you're in a bind. Come back up through center. Exhale, twist open to the left. So I'm walking my right hand as far as I can, then twisting open to the left side. Option to bind here. Taking my left arm behind me, taking my right arm behind my shin. Good, come back through center. Plant your hands and step back to plank pose. I like to wiggle out the knees. Let's tap right knee, left knee. Right knee, left knee. Good, send your hips forward, peering over the edge of your mat, squeezing your elbows in, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, upward facing dog. You're on the tops of your feet. Chest is lifted, gaze is forward, back of the neck is long. Exhale, tuck your toes and send your hips back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg to the sky, lengthening all the way through the toes, pushing the ground away from you. Exhale, bring your foot in between your hands. Keep your left hand planted, twist open to the right side. Right arm lifts to the sky. Now keep twisting open, reaching towards the back of the room, coming onto the side edge of your left foot and reaching towards the back, dropping your hips towards the mat. Inhale, come back through center, plant the hands. Inhale, reach up, crescent pose. High on that back foot, lunging deeper into the front leg. Lengthening through the spine, reaching to the sky, and your gaze is forward. And your next exhale, spin the back heel down, open up to warrior two. Reaching from fingertip to fingertip, palms are facing down, gaze is towards the front of your mat. Inhale, grab your right wrist with your left hand, straighten your front knee and arch back for sky archer pose. Exhale, windmill your hands back down to the mat, step back to plank pose. Vinyasa your way to downward facing dog. Lift the left leg to the sky, reaching through to the tips of the toes, pushing the ground away from you. Exhale, bring your foot in between your hands. Keep your right hand planted, twisting open to the left side. Good, continue this motion, twisting back, coming onto the right edge of my right foot, reaching towards the back of the room here. You need to walk your foot a little bit down towards the center of the mat. Inhale, reach back up. Turn your toes back forward. Inhale for crescent pose. High on the back foot. Lunging deeper into the front leg. Reaching towards the sky, lifting and lengthening your spine. Spin the back heel down. Open up for warrior two. Your left knee is directly over your left ankle. Your fingertips are reaching away from each other. Good, straighten your front leg, reach for your left wrist, reaching up and over towards the back of the mat, sky archer. Good, windmill your hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank pose, slowly lower down, chaturanga, halfway push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Chest is lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Audible exhale, make a sound. Good. Step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your hips back, chair pose. Reaching the arms to the sky or the hands to the center of your chest. Holding here. Good. Shift all the weight into your left foot. Figure four, right leg. Hooks onto the left thigh. Sit your hips back. Bring your hands to heart center. Good. Using breath. Steady, stable, clear. Looking forward, gaze is forward, focused on one point. Good. Slowly reach up, extend the left leg. One-legged Tadasana, bring the knee into the chest, and send the leg back for a crescent lunge. Inhaling, reaching up towards the sky. Head, exhale, plant the hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. Chaturanga, halfway, push up, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next exhale, step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit your hips back, lift your arms up, chair pose. Shift all of your weight into the right side, lifting the left foot, figure four on the right side. Bring your hands to heart center. Steadying your breath, steadying your gaze for balance. Good, stand up, bring the knee into the chest, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, step the foot back behind you, reach up, crescent pose. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat, step back to plank pose, chaturanga, halfway lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, stack your hips open, bending your knee, squeezing your right heel to your glute, and then creating some big circles here with your knee. Good, bring your knee back up to the sky. Sweep your knee down and underneath you, planting your left foot, coming into a side plank with your bottom leg lifted. Good, figure four, hooking the right foot onto the left side, and I'm gonna sit my hips back, looking towards the back of the mat and reaching. Exhale, reach back up and over to downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs here. Good, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, stack the hips open, bend the knees, squeezing the left heel to the glute, and creating some big circles here with your knee. Bring your knee back up to the sky. Sweep your knee down and around and under for coming onto a side plank on your left hand. Right arm lifts to the sky. I'm gonna hook my left foot on top of my right thigh, sit back into my heels for figure 4 plank pose, reaching towards the back of the mat. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Nice, slow and controlled, smooth motions here. Good, inhale, reach your right leg to the sky. Exhale, pigeon pose. Sinking your hips down. Your right knee is right behind your right wrist. Feels good for your shin here. It can be more parallel or it can be closer to your hips. And then option 2, sink down forward, forehead to the mat. Or you can be on your forearms here. Starting to slow the breath down. Option for more of a quad stretch to bend your back knee. Grabbing your left foot with your left hand, pulling it into your chest. Good, if you have hold of your foot, release it to the ground, push back up, plant your hands, tuck your back toes and send your hips back to downward facing dog. Wiggle out that right leg. Lift your left leg to the sky, inhale. Exhale, set up for pigeon on the left side. Sinking the hips to the mat. Coming down onto your forearms or your forehead to the mat. Continuing to just slow down your breath here. Beautiful. Option to bend your back knee, grabbing your right foot for a quad stretch. Good, release your foot back to the mat. Roll over onto the left side of your hip. Swing your knees in front of you and roll down onto your back. Squeezing your knees into your chest. Rocking from side to side for a nice low back massage. And then send your knees over to the left side, twisting. Keeping your right shoulder planted, maybe your gaze goes to the right. Good. Bring your knees back up through center and over to the right side. Gaze goes to the left, left shoulder is planted to the mat. Knees are twisted to the right. Come back through center, plant your feet to the mat, close to your butt, setting up for bridge pose. Inhale, send your hips to the sky. And then release your hips to the mat. Send your feet long, send your arms above head. Stretching away from each other like a good morning stretch, like you just got out of bed. And then release your hands down by your sides, palm facing up. Legs are wide, your feet are splayed open. We're setting up for Savasana. Starting to wiggle your toes and your fingers, coming back to the room. Bending one knee and the other, rolling over to side of your choice. And then pushing back up to a seated position when you're ready. Come into a cross-legged position. Hands to heart center. Bow your head. In gratitude for your body in this practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in this 30-minute yoga flow. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. See you in the next class.